Hey, what is up, everybody? Everybody's talking about Logan Paul versus KSI. You're thinking you're going to be watching the most baddest fight of all time. YouTube is now getting into the fight game. YouTubers are fighting other YouTubers, right? This is going to be the amateur versus the amateur. You know, you're not getting the Floyd Mayweather fight. You know, if you're not even into the YouTube universe, no one's even going to know about this. I'm not sure what the last pay-per-view got, but it is $10 if you order it and you watch it, I think, on Logan's YouTube channel or KSI's YouTube channel. So I'm guessing if you buy it on, like, Logan's YouTube channel, you're rooting for Logan. That's what I've noticed, that these guys are going to be fighting at about 185 pounds, and it is 6 rounds of 3 minutes. So you're going to get about 18 minutes of pure fighting. It's over in Manchester. So for myself, this is a amateur fight at best. They're not going pro. You know, Logan Paul is a straight up wrestler. You know, he was what do they call it? A state champion, like in his high school days. And KSI's never done any sports in his life besides that one boxing match where he won, and his punches look kind of like this. It did not look like he was bobbing and weaving, but you got to take into consideration who's been in a fight before. Logan Paul's been in a lot of wrestling matches, right? Wrestling's not going to save his ass in this fight, because you got to knuckle up and start throwing punches. So KSI, in his defense, he's done one professional fight. He's done one fight where he won by knockout, and he won that fight. Okay? He's in great shape. So there is difference between haven't competed in the sport of boxing and a guy who has competed. And KSI has competed once, so he has that edge of being in front of like 20,000 people, and in front of his hometown, his home country. He's going to have the people behind him. You got the American coming in there, Logan Paul. People already hate this guy for the Suicide Forest. They're going to come in there and boo the shit out of him. And when you think it's different when you have 20 people on Twitter saying you're a scumbag, but when you have 50,000 or 20,000 people live in person booing you, saying you suck, you suck, you suck, you're gonna take in consideration, your nerves are gonna be like, oh my god, these people hate me. But KSI, like I said, he's gonna be in his backyard. He's gonna have the ability to win because he already has been in the fight before. So you can see that experience over amateur guy is gonna play, you know, because so for you guys out there who are fans of either Logan Paul or you're a fan of KSI, and you guys have never seen a boxing match, and you guys think, well, Logan Paul is gonna win, I'm a fan of his, he's gonna win. It's a big difference when you're just sparring in a controlled environment in a gym somewhere than it is to actually be in that cage or that ring fighting somebody who's wanting to whoop your ass. There's a fucking big difference. There's a way big difference. And a lot of you guys out there are little kids or fans of just one of the other YouTubers, and you don't realize that it is a different aspect when the fight actually takes place. Very different. So I know from experience, from training with a guy who used to be in the military, and he was a bantamweight champion in the Navy. When I was throwing, let's say, 5 or 6 punches in a row, just like this, and he just throws one jab and lands on me, I get more tired because I'm throwing more punches, and my punches aren't landing when this guy's just sitting back, shoulder rolling, and bobbing and weaving. That might happen to Jake and Logan Paul because they never boxed before, but KSI and his brother have done some boxing before, so they have the experience edge. There's a difference between gym sparring and actually competing in a fight. So I really take that in consideration, that there is a difference between a guy who's competed and a guy who's never competed, because the guy who's never competed is going to be the guy that's more wild, more nervous, and you can never tell me you're never nervous before a boxing match, a UFC fight, a wrestling match, anything. Even when you go play professional football or you go play high school football, you got that little bit of nerves of like you're amped up, ready to go. and then you got to perform. There's people that can perform in the gym all day, every day, and there's people that cannot perform when it comes to the actual event. They just get pressured, or let's say KSI just runs in there and lands a couple punches and knocks him out. That's the most embarrassing thing, because that's going to play all over the internet. Like, aha, Jake Paul got knocked out, or aha, Logan Paul got knocked out, or aha, this guy got knocked out, right? I think most people in this YouTube world, they want Jake and Logan Paul to lose because of the garbage that they have put out over the last year, right? I'm not really a fan of either one of these YouTubers. I think both of these YouTubers aren't my cup of tea. I don't watch that kind of content. The only reason I know who Logan Paul and Jake Paul is because, like, the Suicide Force and the garbage videos that they have put out in the past. You know, KSI, I've seen some of his videos where he's talking in front of the camera and he kind of trash talks to a couple YouTubers and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't really know too much about either one of these guys' background. So, at the end of the day, I think KSI is going to win this fight just because he has more experience doing that competition, that boxing. He has more competition experience. Even if it's one fight, he said he's been training for at least over a year. So, I believe he's going to come in there and be the more better fighter, using his jab and so on and so forth. And the jab does work very well in boxing. And I'll say this, if it was a straight wrestling match, KSI would be dominated, because Logan Paul has done that pretty much his whole life, like wrestling and stuff. But that's my take on the fight. It is tonight on YouTube, baby. If you want to watch it, I think it's at 7 p.m. in the States. So it's 7 o'clock on the East Coast. Then it'd be 4 Pacific if you're in California and on the West Coast. But my name is Trevor, back with another video, baby. And this has been another, I guess you'd say, boxing breakdown. Usually I do MMA breakdown and MMA predictions, but I just wanted to talk about this fight because I think it's something that is very unique, that people are making YouTube a bigger thing than it really is. They're saying, hey, people on YouTube want to put out boxing matches. They want to put out pay-per-views, and they are getting still like 500,000 views or a million views or so on and so forth. But if you guys are going to tune in, check it out and watch your YouTubers bang. That's how it is nowadays. You got beef with your favorite YouTuber, you go out and you box. Maybe they might actually put on a YouTube MMA event. Now that would be worth watching. So as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. MMA or boxing. Come on now. Combat UFC? No. Combat YouTube.